The teammate grade system in this game is absolute garbage. And by the end of this video, through all the examples I got, I think you'll feel the same way too. Let's start by asking what the fuck a teammate grade is supposed to be, because it's basically how you get rep in the game. Are you being a good teammate? Are you being a valuable teammate to your team? It's supposed to help determine that, but it does far from it. Check this play right here. Mindframe gets beat by his guy, a logical fucking teammate would rotate, and then Mindframe will pick up my guy. That's what a regular person would do. I get hit with a defensive breakdown for making the right play. So let me make defensive breakdowns the first focus of this video, because there's a lot of problems outside of that, but this is a major one. 2K qualifies anytime your guy scores without a heavy contest, a defensive breakdown. And as a guard, I don't know how I could logically fucking defend this specific play right here without getting a breakdown. I'm guarding a bigger player. The defense did not break down. This was the way the Archetype system was designed. And it's really gonna show here in this clip. So they missed the shot, rebound, I rotate to the shooter, and I get leave assignment on my other guy. I rotated to make sure the team did not shoot the open three, and I got penalized immediately. There is no sense of what good defense looks like, and they have absolutely no idea how to gauge it. If you play a zone defense, there's no way to tell the teammate grade. I'm not gonna follow my guy because I have this specific zone. You get penalized. If you switch on a screen, there's no way to tell the game. I've switched, that's not my guy anymore. And probably what's most infuriating when it comes to defensive breakdowns is when you play good defense, all fucking possession against a playmaker on the twos or just somebody who's difficult to guard, and you don't get no fucking teammate grade for all that defense. Like you weren't just pushing him back, getting in his way. As a sharpshooter, you know how difficult that shit is? Especially playing good people, there's no reward for that. And then someone hits you with the screen, goes for the layup, your teammate doesn't help or switch, and then bam, you get a breakdown on a play where you played phenomenal defense. And for reasons I'm going to explain in a little bit, it's difficult to come back from those defensive breakdowns unless you do one of three things to get your teammate grade up. The only decent way to get grade on the fucking park or the Pro-Am after playing a series of good defensive possessions, check out the defense, is to hope they pull up for a fucking retarded shot in front of your face, and then you get good shot defense. And you barely get shit for that. It takes you 2 good shot defenses to go up from 1 defensive breakdown, and it just doesn't make any sense. Okay, so here's the part of the video where I tell you what inspired me to make this shit, alright? I want to play with my sharpshooter and rep up, but I'm starting to realize, especially on the Pro-Am, but this also goes for the park, that sharpshooter just isn't a good archetype to rep up on. There's 3 ways to get consistent rep and hit the A+ all the fucking time on the park and the Pro-Am. You either get rebounds, you get screens and then screen assists, or you get assists. It had nothing to do with scoring. And as a sharpshooter, right down the middle, 6'6" sharpshooter, I'm not grabbing fucking rebounds over glass cleaners, and I'm not getting dimes because I'm always playing with playmakers. And so down the middle, I'm not getting screen assists. I don't have brick wall. I could try, but it's gonna be difficult to be consistent doing that. And now I'm just a sharpshooter out there setting screens, because actually making shots, being consistent, shooting lights out from 3 is not rewarded in the teammate grade. So you saw part of this clip a little bit earlier. Big man dunks on me. Alright, I get a defensive breakdown. Did you see how much that shit went down? I'm back to a C. On the next possession, Mindframe passes me the ball. I said, yo, let me fuck up this guy's teammate grade because he's ruining mine. Check this shit out. I'm a small and I did this to him. Did y'all see the teammate grade go up? I missed the part where it went up. You don't get fuck all for making shots in this game, man. At all. You can literally take a shot, and regardless of whether you make or miss it, you can get a good shot selection, go up a fucking tiny amount, and that's it, regardless of whether the bitch went in. So double rep is going on. I wanted to make sure I got as much rep as possible. I'm trying to at least hit Superstar 1. I don't go for rep too often, but I was trying to go for it this day. And everybody on the other team quit. And this is when I reached my boiling point, because y'all know the AI intercepts every fucking thing. And so every time I try and pass it to that bitch ass user teammate I had, it kept getting intercepted by AI. I'm like, set me a screen. And what he told me is what really pissed me off. I was so close to punching a wall out. I've never felt that way before, people. And he told me, I just want to get my rebounds and I'm out. And I said, fuck you, bitch. We can't score as a team unless you set me screens. The rest of my team quit. I need a screen. I'm a sharpshooter, bitch. And all he cared about was his grade. He knew that the only way to get grade was rebounds. screens, but that would rely on me scoring, and he knew I was trying to get assists. Or assists. It's 3 ways to do it. I mean, you can get like good shot defense, multiple defensive stops. There's a lot of other shit you can get, but you can't consistently get that. You can't dominate, get to an A+ every game looking for multiple defensive stops. These are 3 best ways. People know it. It's common knowledge. And the frustrating part is we're supposed to be gauging how good of a teammate people are. And in that game, he was a fucking absolute garbage teammate, getting out-rebounded by everybody, yet he finished with the A- and I finished with the C because I was getting turnovers trying to pass, and the AI was playing Richard Sherman corner right there like a fucking safety. Nah, they were playing like Champ Bailey in the bitch. They were intercepting everything. This teammate grade system, it's a GG. Let's move the fuck on. This isn't 2K13. You're not telling me there's better ways to determine how well somebody's playing in a game? Check this play out right here, y'all. Check this shit out. So on this play, I get an assist, and look how much my fucking grade went up. You see that? On the other end, all right? Look at this shit. It played a second ago if you missed it. Look how much I go up for getting a dunk on a fast break relative to the person getting the assist for the person who gets the dunk. And it sucks because for a 6'6" sharpshooter who's not going to be the greatest rebounder, or he's not going to be getting assists because there's going to be a smaller point guard on the team, it literally doesn't make sense to even play with this player if you're trying to rep up. This is my go-to player. I still think is the best sharpshooter build in the game, but it is not the best for repping up. And this is obvious to most of y'all. Y'all know, you've seen the people grinding for a legend. They were using fucking glass cleaners to get rebounds and screen assists. They're using playmakers to, you know, they could get open and get assists doing that shit. So it's, I mean, you see it. We all know the system is broken. It doesn't actually gauge who's the best player. I know y'all went up against people on the park who are absolute fucking trash, but their shit says Superstar 3 or 4. And then you played up against the All-Star 2 who just cooked the living soul out of you. You've dealt with it before. We've legitimately gotten so used to the teammate grade system, and they made tiny improvements to it. There's some differences between this year and last year, but it's relatively the same thing. Fundamentally, it's the same thing, and that's a problem. It's just frustrating I can't run with my sharp. You can't run with the middle class player. You either have to be a big or a small. If you're in the middle, then you're just a glorified screen setter if you're trying to get rep. If you're just trying to play and have fun, it's a whole new story, which is what I'm doing most of the time. But on double rep, I'm trying to rep up, of course. I legitimately had to put down my sharpshooter and bring out my point guard slasher. Y'all haven't seen much videos on him yet. It's coming soon, don't even worry. 6' Nate Robinson is on the way. And y'all know that sharpshooter is my favorite build. I have 2 playmakers, I have a slasher, I have 2 sharpshooters, and I have my 6'6" post scorer. And of all, that 95 6'6" left-handed sharpshooter is the GOAT. But I have to retire him when I'm going for rep now because he doesn't fit the little cookie cutter format that 2K set out for how you're supposed to get rep. And so you're telling me on my park how you get reputation. Your reputation on the park is dependent on how much you pass the ball or rebound it or set screens. Are you fucking kidding me? They need to add more ways to get grade defensively. If you're locking down a playmaker or something, then you need to be rewarded for that. Offensively, if you hit the corner properly, they don't catch you sometimes when you're filling the lane on the fast break. You don't get fill-in lane. You don't get that shit sometimes. They miss it. They miss it. And so all the small stuff you do to make your team win and be a good teammate always goes unnoticed because one of 3 things has to be done or 2K just doesn't give a fuck. I'm legit catching myself in Pro-Am games where all I'm seeing people do is go for assists. Nobody's trying to shoot the ball because they all know that there's no fucking way to rep up doing that. Let's move on for a second because there's smaller problems outside of those main ones. 2K on mismatches where you get out rebounded or somebody crosses you out, there needs to be less of a fucking penalty. How are you penalizing me? You made this fucking archetype system, and sometimes you run up against 2 bigs, allow offensive rebound. Yeah, of course. Even if I box them out and do everything in my power, you set it up this way. I can't do multiple things. I do one thing and one thing really well. Everything else is just mediocre. And so if you're gonna allow offensive rebound, you have to minimize the fucking amount that it just destroys your grade. Even out the garbage rep system, man. I get a screen assist right here. Look how high my grade is flying. I pulled out my post scorer because he's great for rep. Post score moves, you get a lot of rep, and then the screen assist with brick wall. It's the move if you're trying to get rep. but it just doesn't make sense. I don't feel like I'm being very beneficial to the team, yet I'm always pulling better grades than my sharpshooter. You need to fine-tune the system, because this play right here, how in the fuck was that a bad block attempt, 2K? I'm so curious. Well, look at this shit back. I'm literally going for the block on a big man who's been saucing our team all game long. How does that make any sense? Your fucking garbage system doesn't even understand itself. Do something about this, 2K. I pull up for the shot on some garbage shit, it misses, and I get good shot selection. I get the same grade I would have gotten, independent of whether the shot went in or not. That makes no sense. That should matter. Whether the shot goes in or not should matter. It's incredible how fucking much they disrespect scoring. And this is where one y'all fucking cynics talk about some, hey agent, if they emphasize scoring, then people wouldn't pass the ball. You're telling me that there's no possible way that this billion-dollar company, the billion-dollar publisher, these devs can find a way. They can't find a way to balance this shit because it's too difficult. It takes too much brain power to figure out a teammate grade system that works. Is that what you're trying to tell me right now? It's possible. They just don't give a fuck. They're too busy spending their time doing dumb shit, like inviting Future to the next park after dark that doesn't even work, or scheduling literally all park events on the same exact weekend so everybody can lag out. They have too much brilliant things going on behind the scenes to care about shit like this, right? I still need a valid argument for why this play didn't qualify as good shot defense. It was a beautiful contest, and 2K's like, nah, we don't feel like rewarding you this time. I still don't have an answer on why the fuck they removed that stutter step, and then I get a turnover for that shit. Why did they remove the stutter step animation? Some of y'all dumbasses in the fucking comment section were talking about agent, actually stutter step's still in the game. It's not the same animation that it was at launch. They took it out. You probably experienced this exact same animation I'm looking at right now on yourself, especially in the park. It happens a lot, but it also happens on Pro-Am. On this play right here, you can see the big man literally drag me. I'm trying my hardest to sprint through him, and I get a breakdown. I couldn't maybe just go around him? Maybe I was just feeling his chest like, oh, you hit a PR on bench yesterday? Like, what the fuck was I doing? If there's no way to slide by him, why is this game so jaggedy? Why does it feel so fucking clunky? What's wrong with this game? My career feels so smooth. Y'all went out of your way to just fuck up how the gameplay feels? It makes no sense. Defense is the problem. Stop fucking up offensive animations. It has nothing to do with that. Nobody can keep up because you gave everyone a 74 defense across the board. What did you expect was gonna happen? This gameplay I gathered in legit like 2 hours, y'all. And these are some of the 2 hours. And all this fuckery. I know you don't need me to show examples because you've dealt with it playing online, especially if at any point you gave a shit about your rep at all. It's infuriating. There's just so much wrong, and you know what, for the most part, when the game isn't lagging, I can play through it. You know, I hit Superstar 1, you know, life is good. I don't really give a fuck too much. I'm not trying to go anything past that. But how are people tolerating this? Like, there's just some people like, oh, yeah, well, I expect this now from 2K. I expect this. It doesn't make any sense to me, man. Anyway, teammate grade system is absolute garbage. I guess I'm gonna have to start running my point guard if I ever want rep. I'm still mostly gonna run my sharp because I'm playing for fun most of the time, but it just sucks, man. Yo, for real, because this shit, I'm trying to get out of All-Star, and you know, I'm a university student, and I do YouTube, and I'm trying to be good at the game. I don't have time to sit there and grind rep like that, man. I just don't. So for the people that don't have time, this is pretty unfortunate. Rep isn't even an indication of how good you are at all, and I think most of you guys know that. You've told me that in the comment section before, but it's really apparent now. But anyway, I can't believe some of the people who grind into legend. That shit is crazy. I don't know how you had the patience to deal with all this. Yo, every single day, and these are just clips people have sent me on Twitter over the last few days. People send me shit like this. He's stuck behind the bench. There's no audience. This happens to me literally every My Career game. I never have an audience in my Career, which I'm not gonna lie, I actually prefer it that way. I don't know why, but it's a glitch. People show me, he went through the person on that play. People send me this shit on Twitter all the time. Check out the lag here. I've never experienced lag like this in my life, and I pray to God I never do. This is on some OD shit. This is what happens when you try and schedule everything at the same time shit. And it's just buggy. These are the last few days. I don't ask for it. People just casually like, yo, agent, check what happened to me today. I'm like, yo, y'all dealing with this shit too? It's crazy. the amount of problems in this game. The teammate grade system is 1. But check this man is outside the park zone. How did he get there? Like, you've seen all the face scan glitches. Like, there is so much wrong. So every once in a while I have to fucking rant because it's a frustrating game. I can't even get words out. Anyway, I'm gonna leave it at that, alright? The teammate grade system is absolute garbage. If y'all enjoyed the video, make sure to drop a like on this bitch. Of course, you already know. Subscribe if you guys are new. I'm gonna catch y'all later. Peace.